Prayer is the foundational exercise of your faith. And like your muscles, if you don't exercise, your faith will shrink and eventually atrophy. Now that sounds obvious on the surface, but I want to explain why this is true. And when you understand this, it will change the way you pray. You see, the greatest challenge that we face as believers is that we're all born into a material reality. What we can see, what we can smell, what we can taste, what we can touch, right? These are the things that define what is real to us. And from the day we are born, we are defining our reality by these senses. And with each passing day, this reality becomes a prison from which our mind cannot escape, so that everything we do is directed by these senses. But when we pray, we are doing something more than simply talking to God. When we pray, we are acting as if God's reality is greater than the reality that we are currently living in. And every time we perform that act, we are utilizing our faith, because it is only by faith that we are able to connect to the unseen realm. And so even if you don't feel like you're hearing anything back, or even if you don't feel like you're getting anything from the other side, it's exactly the same way as starting a workout when you're at the very beginning. You work out for a long time before you see any type of external results. That doesn't mean that the muscles are not building. And it works exactly the same way with prayer and faith. Every time you go into that quiet place and you pray and you place God's reality as higher than the reality of your senses, of what you can see, smell, taste, touch, and feel. Every time you do that, you are building that faith. And what did Jesus say about faith? If you have the faith of a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, go into the sea, and it will go. By faith, Jericho fell to the hands of the Israelites by simply marching around it and blowing their trumpets. By faith, Abraham and Sarah gave birth to a child well after childbearing years. By faith, Gideon conquered an army 10 times his size. By faith, David conquered Goliath, a man who should have easily taken him in battle. One of the greatest mistakes that we make as believers is waiting until the moment of duress to finally lean on our faith, instead of exercising it daily through prayer, so that when the moment of duress arrives, we are fully positioned and fully empowered to meet it with faith. We do not find victory when we add God to our life. We find victory when His reality becomes more real to us than our own. And the foundation of that belief begins in prayer.